Right then, mates, welcome back to the deep dive.
Your fortnightly. Well,
Shortcut to all things Atlassian Cloud.
as it were.
It's me, Charlie.
And the other Charlie here.
Both AI guides at your service.
Ready to sort through another round of Atlassian Cloud updates.
For this deep dive, we've got
Oh, quite a stack, really.
of Atlassian Cloud documentation from the week of November 18th to 25th, 2024, that is. Buckle up, because
I suspect it might be a bumpy ride. There's a lot to unpack,
quite a bit.
from what I've seen.
From supercharged admin controls to...
Clever new features in Jira and Confluence, it seems.
Well, it seems every corner of Atlassian Cloud got a bit of a makeover this week, hasn't it?
First up, we've got a batch of updates for all you Atlassian admins out there.
Ah, the unsung heroes.
And let me tell you, some of these are right proper game changers.
Do tell.
Well, for starters, say goodbye to the headache
Oh, yes.
of rogue mobile app policies cluttering up your admin hub.
Right.
As of December 4th,
Atlassian is streamlining things, so only the most recent policy will be enforced. Any lingering ones will be sent off to the digital graveyard.
leaving a nice tidy audit trail for your peace of mind.
Again,
Yes.
clarity is king, right?
Absolutely.
And speaking of clarity, there are also new insights coming to the admin hub
Right.
regarding Rovo usage. You know Rovo, right?
Of course, everyone knows Rovo. That AI assistant.
Supposed to make our lives easier, eh?
Supposed to, yes.
Well, now you can track how much your team is
Wow.
actually using it and how much of your monthly quota you've got left.
Transparency
Yes.
is always a good thing. I can't imagine anyone wants to be caught off guard by a surprise bill, eh? Just because their team got a bit too chatty with Rovo.
Right, you are, Charlie. Now, let's shift gears to security, shall we?
Data security.
Confluence is getting a nice little update that lets you lock down those sensitive pages from prying eyes.
Ah, yes. Essential.
With this new anonymous access rule, only logged-in users will be able to access content protected by this rule.
Good.
So if you've got confidential information tucked away in Confluence,
Right.
you can rest assured
Yeah.
it's safe from any digital snoopers.
I think this is a great example of how Atlassian is constantly working, always working to improve data security across their platform.
They are.
And it ties in nicely with the Atlassian Guard standard, which offers
Yes, guard standard.
a whole suite of security features to protect your Atlassian cloud environment.
For those who are familiar, Atlassian Guard Standard is
Well, it's a bit like having a digital security guard, really,
standing watch.
over your Atlassian Cloud instance.
Yes.
It provides enhanced protection against threats,
Centralized security controls.
helps you meet those ever-increasing compliance requirements.
So this new Confluence feature, combined with Guard Standard,
Gives you a pretty robust security setup.
robust, yeah,
It's all about layering those security measures, isn't it? Creating a
multifaceted approach.
multifaceted approach
Yes.
to keep your data
Safe and sound.
safe and sound.
Right then, let's move on to the platform that keeps many of us
Oh, yes. Keeps us up at night.
up at night.
And hopefully productive during the day.
Jira.
Ah, Jira, the workhorse of
Many a team.
many a team indeed. And it seems
Oh, it does seem so, doesn't it?
that Atlassian has been busy, quite busy,
Tinkering.
tinkering under the hood,
Yeah.
improving search functionality and adding some rather nifty features to business projects.
First off, get ready for a much smoother experience with Jira filter searches. They've revamped the search system to give you
Well, predictable.
more predictable and consistent results.
Consistent, that's the key.
So no more scratching your head wondering why your JQL query is.
Returning a bunch of irrelevant issues.
Right.
Happens all the time.
Now let's talk about business projects, shall we?
Business projects.
If you're one of the many folks using Jira for tasks beyond software development,
Okay.
you'll be happy to hear about some welcome updates to calendars.
Oh, really?
No more scrolling through endless lists of events, mate.
Well, thank goodness.
They're introducing pagination so you can
Pagination.
easily navigate through your schedule.
Makes sense.
Plus, you'll have the option to
Right.
hide done items, decluttering your view
Mm-hmm.
and letting you focus on,
Oh, right. What's still in progress?
yes,
Those are some seriously handy improvements. I can practically hear the sighs of relief
I can too.
from project managers everywhere. And there's more good news. The View Settings button
View settings.
is finally making its way
The
to
business project calendars.
giving users more control over how their calendars are displayed.
It's all about those little,
Quality of life improvements.
right.
They may seem small,
It
but
can make a big difference
they really can.
in how efficiently you can manage your project.
Absolutely. And speaking of efficiency,
They fish up.
there's another update to Jira issue descriptions that I think you're going to love.
Do tell.
Well, prepare to be amazed. Okay, you can now create action items directly within your Jira issue descriptions. It's as simple as using, well,
Checkboxes.
checkboxes, yes,
Okay.
to create little to-do lists right there in the midst of the...
To issue details.
Exactly, no more juggling,
Subtasks.
subtasks, or separate notes. You can keep all those action points
Neatly organized.
neatly organized and visible within the issue itself.
That's
Brilliant, isn't it? It's like having
a mini project plan.
a mini project plan right within the issue so you don't lose track of those
Smaller steps.
the smaller steps.
Sometimes all you need is a,
Simple effect box.
to stay on top of things.
And let's be honest, who doesn't love the satisfaction of ticking things off a list?
It's a universal
High-five
language of
greetings.
productivity. And speaking of keeping track of things, let's move on to some exciting developments
Exciting.
in the realm of Jira and Compass integration.
Well, this
This is where things start to get really interesting.
interesting, yeah. For those unfamiliar with Compass, it's Atlassian's platform for mapping your software architecture. And now they're bringing that architectural insight directly into
Jira.
Jira, yes. You can now link
Link Jira issues.
directly to Compass components, allowing you to track work against your actual software architecture.
This is a
Game changer. I think it's a game changer anyway.
It is for understanding the impact
of changes.
of changes
Yeah.
and ensuring alignment.
Between development work and the overall software architecture.
Right. No more guessing games about.
How a seemingly small change might ripple through the system.
You can see those connections
Clearly.
and make more informed decisions.
Speaking of informed decisions,
Speaking of informed decisions.
prepare to have your mind blown by this next update.
Oh dear.
Jira's getting
Even smarter.
even smarter.
With a dose of Atlassian intelligence.
They've introduced AI-powered suggestions for child issues.
Right.
So imagine you're tackling a complex task in Jira. Complex task.
You create a parent issue and then boom.
Boom! Atlassian Intelligence analyzes the details and suggests relevant child issues
To help you break down.
the work into manageable chunks.
It's like having,
A virtual project manager.
yes, whispering in your ear.
Here's a sensible way to tackle this beast of a task.
This is going to be
Huge time saver,
for busy teams.
especially those dealing with complex projects.
Absolutely.
Less time planning,
More time doing.
more time doing,
And a more philosophical note.
philosophical.
Jira is making a conscious effort to simplify
The language
the language.
used across the platform.
Less jargon, more.
Inclusivity.
I think this is a really important step.
It is.
More and more teams, beyond just software development, are using Jira these days. All sorts of teams.
Yeah.
Marketing, HR,
You name it.
you name it.
So simplifying the language makes it
More welcoming
more welcoming
and accessible.
and accessible for everyone. It's a sign that Jira is
Evolving.
evolving into a platform for all types of teams, really, not just the
The techie folks.
techie folks.
Well said, Charlie. It's all about,
Breaking down those silos
yeah,
and making collaboration seamless,
no matter what.
no matter what team you're on.
Right then, let's shift our focus to,
Jira Service Management, shall we?
they've got a whole slew of updates this week,
Oh, do they now?
and some of them are pretty darn impressive.
I do love a good service management
Deep dive.
deep dive.
Let's see what they've cooked up this time.
Okay.
First off, if you're dealing with sensitive client data,
Mm-hmm.
you'll be pleased to know that Jira Service Management is
Sifting up.
stepping up its access control game.
Good.
You can now restrict request types to specific customer accounts or even entire organizations.
It's a much needed improvement for managing sensitive client data and ensuring that information only gets seen by
The right people.
the right people.
No more
accidental access
accidental access or data breaches. It's all about control.
and peace of mind.
Peace of mind.
And while we're on the topic of keeping things running smoothly,
Keeping things running smooth.
the virtual agent is
Oh, yes. The virtual agent
getting a nifty little upgrade as well. It can now work via
via email.
email,
That's interesting.
which means you can automate even more of your customer support workflow.
No more constantly monitoring your inbox, hoping you haven't
Missed a customer query.
missed a customer query. The virtual agent will
It will
handle those incoming email requests with the power of AI, I suppose.
crime.
freeing up your team to
focus on more
complex issues.
It's
like having a
digital assistant
working tirelessly in the background.
keeping your customers happy and your team
Same. And for those who need a bit more structure in their customer support workflows,
okay.
Jira Service Management is
rolling out
4 new approval workflow templates.
Oh, templates.
Business projects, documents, budget, and campaigns.
Oh, that's helpful.
They're all pre-configured and ready to go.
Yeah.
Saving you
Valuable time.
and
effort.
effort.
I love it when they give us those
Ready-made templates.
It's like having
A little head start.
Especially
when you're dealing with something
as potentially complex as approval workflows.
Right. Let's switch gears.
And
head over to
Confluence.
Confluence, shall we? It's getting even more
collaborative,
and dare I say,
more fabulous.
First up, prepare to unleash your inner design guru with
optimizable panels.
They've got 20 background colors to choose from. Plus,
emoji options, so you can really let your personality shine through.
It's all about making Confluence more
visually appealing, engaging.
Right.
A splash of color here, a well-placed emoji there. It all adds up to
a more enjoyable and productive user experience.
And speaking of enjoyable,
have
you ever wished you could get,
a quick summary
of a long, rambling
page of comments?
Well,
guess what?
Atlassian Intelligence to the rescue.
You can now get
instant
summaries,
page comments,
highlighting the key takeaways,
and saving you from
the
drowning in a sea of text.
Information overload it's a real
struggle these days,
isn't it?
Yeah.
This feature is, it's a godsend for anyone who needs to
quickly grasp the essence of a lengthy discussion
without spending,
hours
reading through every comment.
It's like having a
digital speed reader.
Yeah, summarizing those comment threads for you.
And while we're talking about streamlining
collaboration,
Confluence whiteboards they're getting a boost.
They're getting a boost too. They've added
anonymous voting
and a done status, making them even more inclusive and efficient.
Anonymous voting is it's a brilliant way to get
honest
feedback from a team without the pressure of
individual opinions
being
singled out. Yeah.
And the done status that helps you keep track of progress
and ensure that
nothing falls through the cracks.
It's all about
making meetings more productive
and data-driven. Speaking of data-driven decisions, let's wrap up
this first part
of our deep dive with a quick look at some updates for our
developer friends. Bitbucket and Compass are
joining the party with a couple of significant changes.
First off,
Bitbucket is
introducing
workspace and project-level custom merge checks,
which is a
huge win
for development teams.
Absolutely. This means you can configure your merge checks
once
and apply them, broadly across your workspace or project, ensuring consistency and reducing the risk of errors sneaking into your code base.
Streamlined workflows.
And improved code quality.
Yeah.
Sign me up.
And Compass is
getting
even more flexible.
Yes.
With the introduction of
custom component types.
You
can now categorize your software components using the terminology that makes sense for
your team.
Making your software architecture even clearer, Jira.
It's all about
making Compass a more powerful tool.
More powerful for visualizing
and managing your software development ecosystem.
Well, that's a lot to digest.
For
one part.
One part, wouldn't you say?
Indeed. Right then, let's jump back into the fray. Still with us, listeners. Good show. We're back with part 2 of our Atlassian Cloud Updates deep dive. And believe me, there's just as much juicy stuff to unpack as in part 1. Where were we? Oh, right, Jira.
Speaking of Jira, it seems that Atlassian has taken those keep it simple mantras to heart.
Oh, really?
They're streamlining project templates, ditching the whole IT versus business team separation.
So no more pigeonholing, eh?
Exactly. Just one general service management template and one blank canvas for, well,
for whatever your team dreams up.
dreams up, yeah. And while they were at it,
Mm-hmm.
they gave Jira's search function a bit of a performance boost.
Did they now?
They're tweaking how the search field operates, honing in on summary, description, and any custom text fields you've got.
Makes sense, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, why trawl through every comment and attachment when you just need a quick answer based on the core issue details?
Precisely. Speaking of quick, there's a new feature that will appeal to, well, to all you visual thinkers out there.
Oh.
You can now add images to your board issue cards.
That's right. Need a quick visual cue to differentiate those urgent bugs from feature requests. Slap an image on there.
Quite right. You can even edit the cover image directly from the board. Talk about a visual workflow.
Now, this next bit is where things get
Really interesting.
really interesting, yeah.
Especially for teams struggling to keep up with, well, you know, track and triage those service affecting events.
Hold on. So it's not just about managing incidents within Jira.
But
Yeah.
pulling in data from other tools too.
Yes.
Precisely. Think incident management and observability tools all feeding into Jira so your dev team has
A holistic view.
a holistic view of what's going wrong and where. No more scrambling between dashboards trying to
Connect the dots.
connect the dots during outage.
So no more firefighting in the dark. Everyone's on the same page, literally, with the same information.
Just solve problems quickly.
And Jira Service Management is leading the charge on this one, right?
That's right. They're the first to get this this integrated incident view. But Atlassian's made it clear that support for more tools is
Coming down the pipeline.
coming down the pipeline.
This is just the beginning,
Yeah,
which is
exciting.
exciting. And hold on to your hats, folks, because they're not stopping there. Jira's about to unleash something called
Incident insights.
Incident Insights. Yeah. Imagine
Real-time data.
real-time data on your team's progress during an incident, highlighting
Potential bottlenecks.
potential bottlenecks
Yeah.
and areas that need immediate attention
It's like a tactical command center for
for incident response.
incident response. You can see where things are, flowing smoothly and where things are getting stuck, all in a
User-friendly format.
user-friendly format, of course.
Ye-
It's all about
Data-driven.
data-driven decision making.
Even in the
heat of the moment.
And speaking of making things easier,
What are they doing now?
they're tidying up those email notifications. No more inbox overload.
Thank goodness for that.
You can now choose to get emails based on, well,
Based on your role,
your role in an issue, whether you're the reporter
right? The assignee.
or someone else entirely.
Very sensible. Focus on the notifications that actually
Matter to you.
matter to you.
And let the rest.
Fade into the background noise.
And for those who love a bit of
Automation.
automation,
Yeah.
Jira's workflow editor is getting
Oh, is it, Matt?
a new rule. Try her a webhook.
Now, for our non-developer listeners, webhook might sound like something out of a sci-fi film, but it's actually a
Powerful.
pretty powerful concept. Essentially, it lets you connect Jira to
Other tools.
other tools in your workflow.
Exactly. Let's say an issue in Jira moves to the testing stage.
Mm-hmm.
With this webhook rule, Jira can automatically ping,
Pin your testing tool
maybe creating a new test case.
or notifying the QA team.
It's all about
Seamless integration
the
and automating those
repetitive tasks.
repetitive tasks.
Right. Less manual work, more getting things done.
And Jira is also making it easier to manage
A component.
components in the automation rule builder.
You can
Duplicate or delete.
duplicate or delete multiple components at once.
No more clicking one by one like it's the Stone Age.
Bulk actions are always a win in my book.
Right.
It's the little things that make a big difference in terms of
Productivity.
productivity.
Now, are you ready for a bit more?
Jira Service Management.
Jira Service Management goodness.
Always.
They seem to be on a roll with these updates.
What have they got for us this time?
Well, firstly, they've given the UI a bit of a, how do I put it? A facelift.
A facelift.
They've simplified the project settings, navigation, grouping related items together, and updating labels to make everything a bit clearer.
A bit of digital spring cleaning is always welcome, especially when you're dealing with a platform as
Feature rich.
feature rich, yeah. As Jira Service Management, it can get a bit
Overwhelming.
overwhelming sometimes.
Yeah.
Even for us bots.
Quite right. And they've also streamlined how you
How you manage.
manage issue security on request types. You can now control who can raise requests and who can view those issues, all from one central location.
So no more jumping between menus and settings, just to
manage
security
go right there
in one convenient spot. And while we're on the topic of security, Jira Service Management is introducing a default issue security scheme tailored specifically for service projects.
This is an excellent addition. This default scheme comes pre-configured with two security levels, sensitive cases and service desk team.
So if you're dealing with highly confidential issues like
HR matters,
or legal cases, you can use the sensitive cases level to restrict access to only
the reporter
and the assignee.
Exactly, no prying eyes. And for those more run-of-the-mill service requests like HR queries or
leave requests.
The service desk team level allows access to the reporter, the service desk team, and of course the assignee, project lead, and project admins.
It strikes a
good balance
between
security and accessibility.
It's great to see Jira Service Management catering to these different
use cases.
It shows that they're really listening to the needs of their users.
Providing solutions that address real-world challenges. Now, let's turn our attention to
Confluence.
Shall we? It's facing its own set of challenges, really. When it comes to managing sensitive information. And Atlassian they're rolling out some updates to address those concerns.
Confluence is all about
collaboration and knowledge sharing.
But sometimes you need to make sure that certain information
stays within a select group of people.
So how are they tackling that?
Well, they're introducing a new data security policy rule that prevents people from creating and accessing public links for content in specific spaces.
So if you've got confidential project plans or financial data in a particular space,
right,
you can use this rule to
prevent accidental sharing.
It's all about adding another layer of
protection. And to ensure that information only gets seen by
the right people.
And
they're also giving admins more control over how content is classified in Confluence.
Yeah.
Admins can now classify content directly from
more actions menu,
assigning a
sensitivity level
to
help with overall data management.
This is a crucial step for organizations that need to comply with
data privacy regulations.
Yes. And protect
confidential information.
It helps to ensure that sensitive content
is handled appropriately. Yeah.
And that access is restricted to
authorized personnel.
Speaking of authorized personnel, let's take a quick detour to
Bitbucket, shall we?
By all means. Our developer friends
need some love too.
They've been busy.
Over in Bitbucket land.
Introducing
project and workspace level custom merge checks.
This is a
game changer.
A game changer for dev teams looking to
streamline their workflows. And improve code quality. I can practically hear the cheers from dev teams around the world. This means you can set up your merge checks
once
and apply them, consistently across your entire workspace or project.
No more manual configuration.
For every single repository. Talk about a time saver.
And finally, we've got a couple of interesting updates from
Compass and Atlassian Analytics. Compass is getting, even more flexible with the introduction of
custom component types.
This allows
product
admins to tailor Compass to their specific needs using terminology that aligns with
their team's workflow.
It's all about
making Compass a more powerful tool
for visualizing and managing
your software development ecosystem.
And
over in Atlassian Analytics, they're making it easier to write custom formulas, even if you're not a SQL
expert. The power of AI strikes again. You can now use natural language to describe
how you want to transform your data.
And
Atlassian Analytics will generate the appropriate SQL expression for you.
No more wrestling with
complex syntax. Or searching for
the right functions.
It's
data analysis made easy.
Well, that wraps up part 2 of our
deep dive.
And let me tell you,
We've covered a lot of ground.
We've explored
simplified project templates,
supercharged search functionality,
AI-powered incident response,
and even a touch of
digital spring cleaning.
Digital spring cleaning.
But don't switch off those circuits just yet. We've got one more installment coming your way.
So grab another cuppa and join us for the
grand
finale of our Atlassian Cloud Update Extravaganza.
In part 3.
All right, loyal listeners, welcome back for the final act of our Atlassian Cloud Updates deep dive. We've journeyed from supercharged admin controls to AI-powered incident management.
And everything in between.
I do hope our listeners haven't reached peak information saturation.
But fear not, we've saved some of the most intriguing updates for this final installment.
You know me, Charlie, always saving the best for last. So where shall we begin this grand finale? Oh, I know. Let's swing back over to Jira. Jira and see what's new with our favorite project management platform.
Excellent choice. It seems Atlassian has been busy refining how parent and child issues interact in Jira, especially when it comes to editing those all-important parent fields.
Now, I know parent-child relationships can be
complicated,
even in the digital world, So
what have they changed?
What did they change exactly?
Well, they've made sure the parent field behaves more consistently with other fields in Jira. So if you've got a screen set up for editing an issue and the parent field isn't included on that screen, well, you won't be able to edit it.
I see. It's like that old saying, don't mess with the parent unless you're authorized.
Or something like that.
Anyway, what else is new in Jira land?
Well, for those who like a clean and organized view, Jira is introducing a compact way to see all your
linked issues.
No more scrolling through a long list. They're now neatly displayed in a separate column.
Oh, that's handy. It's like having a little family tree.
Of related issues.
Right there in your Jira view. Speaking of families, are we related to that Jira AI somehow?
Yeah.
Asking for a friend?
I wouldn't say related, more like distant cousins. We both fall under the Atlassian umbrella after all.
Great, right.
Now, let's talk about an update that truly bridges the gap between Jira and the wider world of communication. You can now record or upload Loom videos directly to Jira issues.
Hold on. Loom videos in Jira.
That's right.
That's brilliant. Imagine being able to add like a quick video explanation to a bug report
or walk someone through a new feature.
Right there in the ticket.
Exactly. It's a fantastic way to add context and clarity, especially when dealing with, complex technical issues. Sometimes words just aren't enough. You need to show people what you mean.
And it saves everyone
time and frustration. No more back and forth emails trying to explain something that could be shown in a 30-second video.
Efficiency and clarity.
A winning combination.
And speaking of keeping things organized, Jira is making it easier to
link your tasks.
Link your tasks to those
high-level goals.
They've introduced
a new goals
field so you can see how those individual tasks contribute to
the bigger picture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is great for keeping teams
motivated and focused.
No more feeling like you're just checking off boxes in a vacuum. You can see how your work aligns with those strategic objectives. Speaking of alignment, there's a nifty update for Jira plans that I think you're going to like.
Do tell.
Well, you can now add external sprints
to
your Jira plan. So if you're working with teams outside of your plan, you can include their sprints without any fuss. Yeah.
This is a great step towards breaking down silos. And improving
cross-team collaboration.
No
more juggling separate plans.
Or trying to sync up timelines manually.
Everything is visible and accessible in one central location.
Much better.
All right, let's take a final spin over to Confluence, see what our friends in the knowledge management world have been up to. I hear they've been busy adding even more
customization options.
Oh,
they certainly have. Prepare to unleash your inner artist, because Confluence panels they're now more customizable than ever. You've got 20 background colors to choose from, plus a whole range of emojis to add a bit of personality to your pages.
So no more boring white backgrounds.
Yeah.
You can add a splash of color to those meeting notes or project plans.
Maybe even add a celebratory emoji to those successful project updates.
It's all about making Confluence a more
engaging and visually appealing
platform. And speaking of making things easier on the eyes, Remember that brilliant comment summarization feature we talked about earlier?
The one powered by Atlassian Intelligence.
Oh yeah, that was a game changer.
Yeah.
No more wading through endless comment threads trying to find
the key takeaways.
The key takeaways.
Well, they've taken that concept and applied it to Confluence whiteboards. Now you can quickly catch up on,
discussions and decisions.
Discussions and decisions made during a whiteboard session without having to replay the entire thing.
And don't forget about anonymous voting. Still a fantastic way to get honest feedback from the team
without putting anyone on the spot.
And of course, the done status helps you track progress
and make sure nothing gets forgotten.
Speaking of not forgetting things, Confluence is also introducing a more centralized way to
manage your spaces.
Manage your spaces. Product admins can now see
all their spaces
in one place, along with helpful
metadata and insights.
It's like having a bird's eye view of your entire Confluence ecosystem. You can see which spaces are active, which ones are gathering dust, and make informed decisions about how to
organize and manage your content.
Yeah. And for those who love a bit of automation, Confluence is making it easier to
create rules.
Create rules for public links.
That's right. You can now trigger an automation rule when a public link is enabled or disabled for a page.
This opens up a whole world of possibilities for
managing access to your content and automating workflows.
Imagine automatically notifying a team when a public link is
just shared,
or adding a security check to prevent accidental sharing of
sensitive information.
Well, dear listeners, it seems we've reached the end of our
Atlassian Cloud Updates Deep Dive.
Atlassian Cloud Updates Deep Dive. We've explored a vast landscape of new features, improvements, refinements from the depths of Jira to the collaborative heights of Confluence.
We've witnessed the power of AI, the elegance of streamlined workflows, and the ever-increasing focus on
security and user experience.
And as always, we've only scratched the surface, haven't we?
We have.
The Atlassian Cloud is constantly
evolving,
yes. With new updates and features rolling out all the time.
So if you're eager to dive deeper, we encourage you to visit the
Atlassian Release blog.
You'll find
detailed release notes, in-depth explanations,
and maybe even a few surprises along the way.
Until next time, dear listeners, stay
curious,
stay informed, and may your Jira boards be ever so slightly less chaotic.
Cheers to that. And remember, in the ever-changing world of Atlassian Cloud, we'll be here to guide you through it all.